Voltaren is a non-steroidal anti-inflammatory gel for powerful arthritis pain relief. Voltaren, the joy of movement.
Did I catch your attention? You look like you lost your breath. Don't you come at me green with an...
Got this amazing outfit for way less than it should have been at Marshall's.
Come on, don't just stand there staring, honey. They're looking at me.
Yeah, that happened. My guys, New Kids on the Block, along with their mixtape tour buddies, recreated iconic 80s videos for their new song, Bring Back the Time, and only we're rolling with them tomorrow.
Look at you. You're already in it. She's in it already. Hey, before we go, season 2 of the feel-good docuseries Dear premieres on Apple TV Plus tomorrow. Jane Fonda, Viola Davis, Ava DuVernay are just some of the stars hearing inspiring stories of the lives they touch.
And in this exclusive clip of what would be fashion trailblazer Andre Leon Talley's last sit-down interview, he reveals the moment that changed his style game forever.
Mr. Lagerfeld looked at me and he was very dramatic and said, "Come with me, my dear, follow me into my room." And I got into bed.
Happening now.
Gas prices continue to soar. This station jumped 26 cents just this morning. Coming up, simple things you can do to stretch your gas dollar.
San Antonio's official Ukrainian nonprofit hosts their first supply drive, the supplies that are needed and exactly when and where you can drop them off.
And a taste of spring for a few days with some morning dampness to talk about that and then our next cold front. We'll see you in a bit. The News at 5 starts right now.
And we have late breaking news. First at 5, legal troubles for Dimmitt County Sheriff Marion Boyd. Boyd now facing 3 charges, including tampering with evidence, tampering with a witness, and stalking.
That is according to a grand jury indictment that was just sent to the KSAT newsroom. Right now, we are still working to get more information about his arrest. We'll have more updates as they become available on air and online on KSAT.com. More breaking news this afternoon. 2 Live Oak police officers are now unemployed after an investigation found they allegedly helped a woman who had a sexual relationship with them. Corporal David Wall resigned back in February. Sergeant Jonathan Gann resigned today.
This after Wall allegedly gave the woman prescription meds and illegal drugs and told her the best location to buy drugs to avoid being caught by police. Investigators say Gann told the woman she had an active warrant against her and ordered police not to take her into custody. And we're told that both men could face criminal charges, too. Now, the squeeze at the gas pump. It's getting tighter for drivers filling up their tanks.
Yeah, you've no doubt noticed the increasing prices around town. The average in San Antonio right now, $3.33 a gallon. That as the Russian invasion rages. So do investors' worries about oil supplies.
And that is driving up the price of oil, and it's affecting what you're paying at the pump. So 12 on your side's Marilyn Morris takes a look at how you can make the most of every drop and every dollar.
Gas prices are revved up.
Prices going up, escalated. Yeah, whole lot.
And drivers are feeling the drain on their wallets.
Oh my God, I think it's crazy. It's very crazy.
In just the past week, the average price of gas locally soared 20 cents a gallon. And in some cases, drivers are seeing some drastic jumps. This morning, this sign said $3.23, now $3.49, a 26-cent climb.
Because I've got an F-250 and I don't want to fill that thing up.
So Aaron Lopez parked his pickup and is now putting $3.99 diesel into his other car.
With this, I get better gas mileage and it's my beater.
So how can you make that tank of gas last just a little bit longer? First, get out your tire gauge. Tires with too little air create drag and waste gas. Next, pop your hood. And check your air filter. A dirty one is going to hurt your mileage. Keeping up with car maintenance can optimize your mileage. When it's time to get gas, shop around. We found a 70-cent gap between the high and low prices around town. Apps like Gas Buddy or Waze help you locate lower prices. Some stations offer cash discounts or loyalty programs. Premium fuels are flirting with $4, so experts say if your car does not require it, skip it. And finally, how you drive matters. High speeds, sudden braking, and jackrabbit starts guzzle the gas. And then there's this strategy.
What do you do to try to save on gas money?
Stay home.
Marilyn Moritz, KSAT 12 News.
Meantime, White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki saying that the president is doing everything he can to reduce the impact that Americans are feeling at the pump. She adds the process of releasing 60 million barrels of oil from strategic reserves just getting started, and hopefully will have an impact soon.
San Antonio has an opportunity to help people in Ukraine right now. The nonprofit Ukrainian San Antonio is collecting supplies for Ukrainian families and the Ukraine military. There is a drive going on right now in the parking lot of the Hilton Garden Inn at the Rim. Alicia Barrera spoke with the two members who organized that drive about which items are in critical need and how they'll be delivered to Ukraine.
Thank you so much. You're so welcome.
For Ukrainians, each item received feels personal.
American people are wonderful. The outreach, the outpour of love has been overwhelming, and we're so grateful.
Olena Kristyuk is a proud Ukrainian and member of Ukrainian San Antonio.
We are the official nonprofit organization in town.
Community members and even hotel staff have dropped off donations and notes of encouragement for Ukrainians fighting against the Russian invasion.
My dad's best friend is a doctor, and she sent me a list of what they need. She works in a military hospital. So we are trying to find local hospitals or medical suppliers.
In a war zone with temperatures in the 30s, items like gauze for bleeding control, splints, stretchers, as well as practical supplies like knee pads, sleeping bags, and portable two-way radios are crucial.
So 3 of the items listed as critical are going to be diapers, baby formula, and also tourniquets. But the big question is, how are all of these items going to eventually make it into the hands of Ukrainians in need?
Once this truck is filled up, it's gonna take off right away to Chicago, Illinois. There is a big Ukrainian-owned transportation company called MIST. From Chicago, it's gonna go to Poland, and from there by cars, they're gonna drive it in the Ukraine or by big 18-wheelers.
Determined to fill the box truck and through the support of the hotel, the group will set up every Thursday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. to accept donations. Alicia Barrera, KSAT 12 News.
And the Russian war on Ukraine now entering its 8th day. Right now, delegations from both countries are meeting again. And amid all of it, much of Europe now dealing with a massive refugee crisis. Isabel Rosales explains what the EU is doing to help those who are fleeing the violence.
More than 1 million people so far escaping the violence in Ukraine, according to the United Nations.
Ukrainians are very friendly. We don't want to have war. We don't want to have quarrels with somebody. We want just peace.
This as Russia continues its assault on key Ukrainian cities.
We have continuous shelling for 26 hours. 26 hours they are destroying our city.
Laying siege to Mariupol and tightening its control of Ukraine's south.
We do not have water supply, we do not have sanitary system, and we do not have heating.
One senior U.S. defense official says Russian forces have shown a willingness to hit civilian infrastructure on purpose.
Dozens have been killed, including children and women, and it's a nightmare.
Delegations from the two countries meeting again amid the violence. On the agenda, an immediate ceasefire, armistice, and creating humanitarian corridors for the evacuation of civilians.
It's awful. We are crying all the time. It's a hard situation.
There is no reason for this to be happening right now.
The European Union is now offering them temporary protected status. In Washington, I'm Isabel Rosales.
Back here at home, he's accused of offering a teen $50 in exchange for a sex act, and now he's in jail. This is 46-year-old Carlos Manuel Alanis. He was arrested yesterday on a charge of criminal solicitation of prostitution of a minor. Arrest records state the incident happened back in November. The teen was riding a skateboard in a business parking lot and recorded video of that suspect driving away. The video was used to track down Alanis. During a police interview, he told investigators he mistook the boy for a former acquaintance and said he would not make the same mistake again because his actions were wrong.
President Joe Biden signing a new law today. It changes the way that sexual assault and harassment is handled in the workplace. That law will end the use of forced arbitration clauses for those claims and allows victims to have the option to bring the claims to seek justice in court. White House press secretary on that.
This law will affect the more than 60 million workers who are subject to mandatory arbitration clauses in the workplace, often without realizing it until they come forward with a claim against their employer.
You may remember Gretchen Carlson, the former Fox News anchor who in 2016, that is, sued Roger Ailes for sexual harassment. She attended today's signing along with survivors who testified on Capitol Hill in support of the bill and several bipartisan lawmakers who helped to pass it through Congress. Former Louisville police officer Brett Heckinson is a free man. He was on trial on a charge of wanton endangerment after he fired shots during a 2020 drug raid in which Breonna Taylor died.
After just 3 hours of deliberation today, the jury found him not guilty of endangering neighbors when he fired through a sliding glass door in a window of Taylor's apartment. Heckinson, the only officer involved in Taylor's death to face any charges. To date, no one has been charged for her killing. A man is dead after he crashed along I-35 near Live Oak this morning. Right now, we are still working to learn his name. This was the view from TransGuide cameras at 35 and Topperwine Road around 7 o'clock this morning. San Antonio police say that's when a driver hit the motorcyclist from behind as they merged into the same lane. Traffic backed up for miles and drivers were stuck as the scene was cleared, including one man who had to stop for gas. It's unclear right now if any charges will be filed. And taking a live look at the road right now as people are heading home. We're looking at 410 and Broadway. There was an accident and some stuff on the road there a little bit ago earlier this afternoon. It appears to be cleared. Still some folks over there on the side, but doesn't appear to be affecting traffic right now.
And we started the day at 49 degrees, then we got well into the 70s, even flirting with 80 in many locations. 79 right now, Del Rio. Lakey at 75 degrees. Floresville, Michael's backyard, checking in at 80. 79 Seguin, 79 right now, Universal City. So you get the idea. We're feeling a little bit of a taste of spring out there today. This evening, a gradual temperature drop. Still upper 60s at 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, lower 60s. And then we're going to see some dampness later tonight, a bit of drizzle and reduced visibility to start the day tomorrow. A bit of a taste of spring, then another cold front. We're going to talk about that along with rain chances in a bit.
Thank you, Adam. All right, El Rey Feo kicking off Fiesta right now. He visited the Children's Rehabilitation Institute of Teletón. This visit, it's special. It's extending his long tradition of kindness and inspiration to families there. The nonprofit offers comprehensive rehabilitation services for children with neurological, muscular, and skeletal disabilities. El Rey Feo talking with students about scholarships and other assistance that they offer, letting all the children know they have every chance to succeed.
It's much more heartwarming coming to a school like this. It's important for us to make sure that we spread this word out to everybody in the community.
Today's visit comes a couple of weeks ahead of Fiesta. Yes, get ready. It kicks off on March 31st.
Be here before we know it. Still ahead on the news at 5, the newest film in the Batman franchise hits theaters today, and people who watch it at an AMC theater could be paying more for tickets, why the movie theater change is increasing costs.
Certainly, movie watching has changed over the course of the pandemic. Many people now choosing to watch the latest flicks in the comfort of their own homes. It saves you cash and from dealing with a room full of strangers, too. But as more people return to the theater, one business raising its prices, and it comes right before a big premiere. ABC's Morgan Norwood tells us why AMC is testing out some new ticket prices.
Justice. The answer is justice.
With just hours until the highly anticipated The Batman hits the big screen,
Whoa, take it easy.
Moviegoers should expect to pay a little more at the ticket counter. This week, AMC Theaters announcing what it calls variable pricing for the movie, part of a pilot program that it's testing in the U.S.
Currently, our prices for The Batman are slightly higher than the prices we're charging for other movies playing in the same theaters at the same time.
AMC's website currently shows pricing for a Friday night showing of The Batman at nearly $19 in New York City, while other films showing at the same time and same location can be purchased for $17.99.
Hi.
The price surge coincides with theaters trying to get audiences back inside after the pandemic led to 2 brutal years at the box office.
The box office has not recovered. And I think it's, a lot of people are saying that a lot of casual moviegoers are not coming back the way they normally would just to check out a film, perhaps because there's so many options to watch at home.
AMC has had flexible ticket pricing at its European theaters for years, and in some cases, charges more for better seating. AMC says this is just the beginning of the transformation happening within their company.
We remain focused on recovery and transformation. We remain focused on innovation and managing through change.
And it's not clear how long this pilot program will last or how many more movies will come with this varied pricing. Morgan Norwood, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Here's a quick look ahead at what's coming up on the news at 6. Tonight, we are talking inflation. Small business is feeling inflation in a very big way. As their costs go up, so have their prices. But with often thin profit margins, will they make it? Coming up at 6, we hear how it's going for small business owners, along with some advice from a small business expert. Plus, the vote is in. San Antonio City Council giving the go-ahead to a plan to sell the Grand Hyatt Hotel. The city doesn't own it, but at the end of this deal, it could for no extra cost.
Taking a live look outside with live cam AT&T Center. The Spurs are at it again. Is this the night that history is made with Coach Pop?
And maybe there's still a little layer of dust on everything as they return.
Maybe a little odor.
Yeah, there's always that to go with it, too. All right, let's talk about what's coming down the pike. We have some damp mornings, reduced visibility for the morning commute tomorrow and even Saturday and Sunday mornings. A taste of spring for a few days. Then a cold front hits. So let's talk about all the changes that are ahead of us and what to expect. First, what's out there right now, 77 degrees. You could call that a little taste of spring there. Dew point of 51. The key is the dew points are on the rise. I know you don't really feel the humidity out there. By summertime standards, this is nothing. You don't even notice any mugginess if we had dew points in the 50s in the summer. But the dew points are on the rise, and you will notice some mugginess, particularly by Sunday. And one important factor about these higher dew points, remember the dew point's the true measure of how much moisture is in the air. And technically it's the temperature that the air must be cooled to in order to become saturated. Well, the air temperature is going to be cooled to these dew point temperatures. We're going to be saturated, and that means fog and drizzle. Tomorrow morning again, Saturday morning, and Sunday morning. I actually think the fog is going to be a little more dense and the drizzle definitely more widespread the next 3 mornings. So something to keep in mind for traveling early in the morning. Temperature-wise, though, warm across the state. We have temperatures in the 70s. 74 in Lubbock right now, 73 in Houston, 78 Laredo. Cotulla standing out with 80 degrees. Meanwhile, 74 in Kerrville. Tomorrow morning, widespread mid to upper 50s. So morning temperatures are on the way up for now, but by early next week, they fall off again because of the next cold front. But tomorrow morning, we're expecting about 59 in San Antonio. Then by the afternoon, we make it well into the 70s again, and you get into the typically warmer locations south and west of town. Low to mid 80s. So Carrizo Springs 83, Del Rio and Cotulla, high temperatures tomorrow of about 84 degrees. And I do think even around San Antonio will be around the 80 degree mark this weekend, but then the cold front hits and you see that temperature drop back down into the low to mid 60s by next week on Tuesday and Wednesday. So a bit of a taste of spring here all the way through the weekend. Then we see those temperatures fall off, and the mornings will be affected as well. We'll get to that in a little bit. Let's talk about any rain chances. Yeah, we'll have dampness, just that nuisance moisture in the mornings with wet roadways. You need your windshield wipers a couple of times. You can't find the right setting, that kind of deal with the drizzle and fog. But actual real rainfall is going to be hard to find for us. Here's the overall pattern. Big upper level disturbance, this big trough, that dip moving into California. We've been talking about that for a few days. It's been streaming moisture into the western U.S. and the Pacific Northwest. That's going to continue to push eastward, but past just north of us, we'll have a series of these upper level disturbances dropping in close to us, but not close enough and not positioned properly to give us a good chance of rain. These bring with them some rain-making energy, but we need them to get down into northern Mexico to position us within that good energy. And it just doesn't look like that's going to happen anytime soon. So nuisance dampness tomorrow to start the day. By about the noon hour, we'll start to see some sunshine. Near 60 in the morning, mid 70s in the afternoon, and conditions really stay the same with slightly warmer temperatures through the weekend. Then the cold front hits early Monday, giving us a gusty Monday with temperatures in the low 70s, but then even cooler early next week. Tuesday and Wednesday mornings back near 40.
Thank you, Adam. We just want to make mention we're getting reports into the newsroom that USAA's banking system is down at the moment. You can't access the website. We're working to get comment from USAA. So if you're experiencing problems logging in, there is an issue.
All right, thank you for that. Meanwhile, let's check in with Greg Simmons. He is live at the AT&T Center where the Spurs will return for their first game in a month.
Yep, pretty much almost a month. And can they get Pop one step closer to making NBA history? When we come back, a live preview here from the AT&T Center. And Keldon Johnson teaming up with USAA next. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome live to the AT&T Center for the first time since February the 4th as our San Antonio Spurs play host to the Sacramento Kings tonight. Now, this is their first game back since their 8-game rodeo road trip and, of course, the All-Star break. Spurs were able to go 4-4 on the rodeo road trip. It did not end well in the Spurs' 118-105 loss to the Grizzlies, in which Ja Morant set a new career and franchise record with 52 points. The loss also included Spurs star guard DeJounte Murray being ejected for throwing the game ball to the referee's legs and an additional $20,000 fine. Now they look to get back on the right track against the Kings tonight and get Pop closer to becoming the NBA's all-time winningest coach, since a victory tonight would tie him with Don Nelson's record. But you won't hear anything about that from Coach.
That's Pop, man. Even from the outside looking in, I knew he wasn't going to say anything about it. And when he gets it, he probably won't say anything about it, except I don't even know, honestly.
It's over, probably.
Yeah, so he's very different, but, you know, it's you got to respect it.
Now, before coming up tonight, 7:30, and we'll have all the highlights for you tonight on the Night Beat. Before tonight's game, Spurs star Keldon Johnson visited Joint Base San Antonio Lackland, where he received a tour of the 433rd Airlift Wing that included being made an honorary member, even getting his own flight jacket. A tour of the facilities where Johnson visited with the men and women of the service there, signing autographs, a first-hand look at the C-5 Galaxy, even a chance to fly one of those giant jets in the C-5 simulator. All of this arranged by USAA in anticipation of Military Appreciation Night, the Spurs game next week.
I'll probably wear this jacket probably one more time, and I think I'm gonna put everything in the case just for memories, man. It was amazing. I'm lost for words. You know, it was kind of hard to try to explain the experience that I was going through.
Keldon Johnson had the opportunity to actually climb into the flight simulator and experience what it is to fly on one of these large C-5 aircraft. But more importantly, it gives him a glimpse of life as a service member, life, of what is it like to be in the Air Force, and he can take that awareness back, and also it helps to show his appreciation and the Spurs' appreciation for what our service members do every day.
The Valero Texas Open announcing another big commit to the tournament that celebrates its 100th anniversary. Tony Finau, ranked 20th in the world, will be part of the field to play at the JW Marriott TPC Resort Course March the 31st to April the 3rd. And congratulations to the voice of the Spurs, Bill Schoening, tonight, who will broadcast his 2,000th consecutive game. Never has missed one. Live from the AT&T Center, Greg Simmons, KSAT 12 Sports.
That's pretty amazing. Thanks, Greg. We'll see you later.
We'll be right back. Before we go, we want to mention once again, USAA appears to be having some system issues on its website. We've received reports from customers who cannot log on to their accounts. We have reached out to USAA, and we are awaiting a response.
Thanks for watching the News at 5. World News is next.